back to the shop, friends. Now that the treadle lathe is completely done, today I'm going to show you how to use it. As with any lathe, safety is first. Be sure that you have a dust mask to prevent breathing too many harmful particles, and also a face mask or at least an eye shield to prevent shavings from hitting you in the eyes or the face. So once you have all your safety equipment ready, it's time to prepare your stock. This is a piece of laminated oak left over from the lathe project that I'm using to practice with. And what I've done is I've taken a saw and I've cut a cross in the end of the piece of wood. And these lines are perpendicular to each other. That allows me to chuck the drive shaft onto the piece of wood that we're going to be turning. On the other end, I've got a simple hole that allows the tailstock live center to mount into the stock and allows it to turn around that. So once I have my stock prepared, I can go ahead and mount that into the lathe. So the end with the cross will go into the drive chuck against the headstock, and it lines up with the cross. And then following that, you move the tailstock into the piece and push it tight together. You can see the drive chuck is making good contact with the stock. Once I'm satisfied that the stock is mounted within the headstock and tailstock, both the drive chuck and the live center on the tailstock, and it spins nice and smoothly, then we can tighten down the tailstock. In order to do that, we just simply tap the wedge into place. Now, once the stock is positioned within the lathe chucks and it turns nice and smoothly, then we can go ahead and position our tool rest. So with the tool rest, we'll just simply place it near the stock in the position in which we want it. I try to get it as close as I can without touching. And I like the height of the tool rest to be near the center of the spindle. Then we can go ahead and tap the wedge, and that will tighten the tool rest up in the spot in the correct position. Now that we have our stock positioned and we have our tool rest secured, now we can go ahead and tighten up our tensioner on our drive belt. You can see as I push the tensioner forward, it tightens up the belt, and that will prevent it from slipping. Now, once we have everything secured and prepared, now it's just a matter of getting the wheel started before we start pushing on the pedal. Depending on the position of the offset on the axle will determine the direction that your stock is moving. For turning, we generally want the stock to be moving towards us, not away from us. That way, the stock is turning towards the cutting edge of the chisel. So I'll position the offset opposite to me and above the center line of the axle, and then push down on the pedal, and that creates the forward motion of the stock. If for some reason we wanted the stock to turn the opposite direction, such for sanding or some other function, then we would position the axle such as this, and then we could begin to drive it the opposite direction. I did place a drawer liner on the step or the pedal just to make it a little bit less slippery. After I oiled the pedal, my foot was slipping off of it a little bit, and this is preventing that. Alright, let's give it a go and see how it turns. Okay, now that we have it all mounted and ready to go, let's give it a turn and see what we can do. So overall, I think the lathe is working really good. I'm certainly having to learn how to use it. I've never used a lathe before, so this is the first time. But the lathe seems to be working smoothly. The pedal seems to be working well. The turning speed seems to be adequate for a pretty good sized chunky piece of oak here. And the one thing I will say is be sure to keep your chisels really sharp, because it's going to be a lot more work if you're using dull chisels. So that's it, guys. This is my treadle lathe. That's how you use it. So now I just need to get some practice in turning. I don't have any experience with it up until now, except for the brief time I've been working with the lathe the last couple days. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the project. I hope you enjoyed this lathe build, and I hope you learned something from today's video. Thanks again for watching.